We have a visual on target.
Welcome back. Rival Supply here at FT3 in Stanton.
And it's a Monday.
It is a Monday.
So Sam's like super effing awake. See that? We're trying not to curse in the first 30 seconds.
Impressive.
Yeah, trying. Keyword trying.
We're doing our best. Look alive,
so
Sam.
if you see the luggage underneath my eyes, it's because it's been a long weekend.
Where were you?
I am having a hell of a time.
I was at Route 66 Range Expo with all of the things and all the people. Today we have the 3 new models. Well, there's 4, but we're going to talk about the 3 that we have right now, and we're going to get into the semantics and the understanding of like the actual 4th one and why it's not here and why it won't be here. And doesn't matter. We'll get there. We have the HK VP9L, the VP9, and then the VP9 SK. These are the new ones that hit the roster as of, I believe it was this year, and they're finally, thankfully, not going to talk down on HK, thankfully, finally they are here.
Finally.
Almost.
Well, we have some models to test out at least.
Yes.
They're here in California a little
Yes.
bit. So we're getting some tests out. And we're going to try them out and make sure we have a little bit more knowledge on them so we can sell them better and get things kind of moving. These ones are a little more worn in. We'll talk about that a little bit later. JB's going to kind of go over the specifics of each one to kind of tell you like why they're so different, why they had to put 3 models on. We'll go from there.
Unless you lived in a different state like you had never shot these before.
Yeah.
A lot of people never shot these. I've been lucky enough to have shot VP9s before in the past, just the regular service model, the 4.09 inch. Okay, let's start off with the models, right? So we got the long, we have the service model, and we have the compact. There is one more service model, which you guys will see out there. A lot of people may have them, may advertise them on their website, whatever. It's the exact same thing as the service model. When I say service model, I mean typically that means a 4-inch, right?
That's small.
Right, 4.09 inch, but it wasn't optic ready. So they made the non-optic ready. They made the non-optic ready one first, and then the trend got started. HK was super smart. They were like, hey, people don't want non-optic ready guns anymore because there's so many optics that are coming out. Everybody's shooting dots. So that one, I don't want to say it's discontinued because I don't work for HK, but we won't be carrying the non-optic ready one, just so you guys know. I do have one of them, but it's just going to sit in the shop. We're going to use it as a display or a shooting gun, or we have fun with it, or maybe we modify it or something like that, right? But these are the 3 models that we will carry, and they're all the optic ready models. So won't go any more into the weeds on that. Hopefully it just gives you some clarification. Let's start. They're all the same, different grip length, as you can see. Same grip here, smaller grip here, but all of the features are going to be identical. So I'm just going to use the service model, which is your standard size gun, right? A 4-inch. Okay, so let's go here. Everybody can see chamber is clear. Okay. And we're good to go. So let's start from the bottom. So we have adjustable side straps and adjustable back straps. Small, medium, large, Sam?
Yeah.
Small, medium, and large on both.
Yeah, they come outfitted with mediums.
Okay.
Mediums in the
They
bottom.
all have mediums. So the other thing about it is like, it's interesting because you can change totally on your grip, right?
Yeah.
So if you want a back strap bigger, but you want smaller side straps, it's really configurable, which is awesome. So you can customize the grip to how you want it, without having to spend money stippling and all that jazz. So that's actually pretty nice. The texture is actually really nice. Did it feel good when you were shooting it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. One of the things I love about this, and if you zoom out just a little bit, Nikki, this tang is huge.
Yeah.
And people don't realize it until they put it in their hand. When you shoot a Glock, it's a little bit more straight up. Having a tang where you can really get a lot of purchase on this gun in here is really nice. I don't care about the gun snapping me. That's part of shooting guns. So I'm not worried about that. But just for me on the purchase of the gun, it's really comfortable here, back here on the back. Let's go frame only. So this does have empty magazine, everybody. This has, what the hell do you call these mag releases? A trigger?
Paddle.
paddle mag releases, right? You can see them on the bottom, so it's not going to be here or both, like what you're used to. That's probably the biggest thing I see people complain about on this is getting used to the paddle.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the paddles? For me, it works because my small hands, I get to it easier.
Yeah, so I actually had the same conversation with a bunch of people over the weekend. Not going to say one way's right, one way's wrong. You can actuate it with your thumb if you really want to. You do have to remove a lot of your grip. I've just been kind of running them as just my middle finger. I just bring my middle finger up and I just rack one in. It works fucking fine.
Well, like, so I don't see, if we talked about this, I don't know if I see the difference between taking your trigger finger, right? You never want to drop your mag with your trigger finger.
Yeah.
I understand that. But if you're using your middle finger, your trigger finger's coming off the trigger anyway. You couldn't shoot it at the same fucking time anyway, so it's like, what does it matter?
The only thing I like to do is
just
to have my trigger finger on the actual slide. Like, I'll just run my trigger finger on the slide. But I got big old fucking hands and I got like...
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a preference. Like,
it's just a preference.
I got nothing against using my index finger for it.
Okay.
I actually find that it's a lot more comfortable for me to use my middle finger.
Interesting.
Like
okay.
I would use my index finger was better. I'd use my index finger. I don't really give a
for me, it's my for me, and I'm using the mag out of the SK. I'm just putting it in here. For me, it's my index finger would be more comfortable. Yeah. It hinges really nicely. It's nice and smooth. Some people were complaining. You use your thumb? Yeah, some people use their thumb on the opposite side. Some people were complaining about like the 2022s, right? Oh no, that's the SIGs.
SIGs,
what's the other model that we had?
S2000s.
The S2000s, it was a little crunchy. These are nice and smooth for me.
S2000, P2000? P2000, that's
P2000?
S2000 is a Honda, sorry.
Okay. Oh yeah, it is. Good job. Hey, it's Monday. Okay, so let's go some slight serrations up front. Let's go into the slide. It has Picatinny, It has Picatinny up here. It looks like just regular 1913. You can attach anything you want there, a grenade launcher, a bayonet, something like that would be cool. Let's move up to the slide. It does have these rear little chingas that go right here. I don't know what else to call them.
Racking assist knobs.
Is that literally what they're called?
No idea, but that's what I'm assuming.
Racking assist knobs.
That's what I'm
I sound like a knob when I say that. People are probably going to say I sound like a knob anyway, but whatever. Interestingly enough, I thought they were pretty stupid. And don't be this guy, please, or gal at the range. Don't be that person. There's racking assist knobs. I'm going to rack it this way. Don't do that. Rack it correctly, please. Rack it like this. Don't rack it like Sam and rack it off the fucking optic.
Hey, first of all, that is technically the way it's supposed to go.
Okay, so interestingly enough, these, when I rack correctly, right, palm and four fingers, I actually, it helps. I think it's a stupid little thing, but I don't know. I'm not mad at it. Yeah. So I'm pretty okay with these two little knobs. It has fully blacked out rears, and it does have the XS tritium front sight, just so you guys know, right up here. So it's blacked out in the rear. It does have a nice square cut. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how it's going to be shooting the dot up front, but I love that they put square backs on it.
Yeah. The U-notch is so dumb.
We're not U-notch people. I know some people like to shoot them. It's not our preference personally.
I mean, both of us started off with Glocks. Well, you started with a Springfield, but I mean, even the XD9s have a fucking square notch.
They do have a square notch.
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah, it's just preference on that. It does have front serrations. It does rack very nicely. Okay, so let's talk optic. Optic. It is its own cut. So we will be carrying a few different things. We will be carrying the CH Precision plate that'll go to Holosun and Trijicon. I can get other plates for other optics if you want to run a different footprint. We also have on the way, actually they're probably in store now, the Holosun SCS made for the VP9. So it direct mounts on. That's the only optic that we know of that will direct mount onto this gun.
As of right now.
Correct, as of right now is the Holosun SCS. People like the SCS because it direct mounts. People don't like it, why?
It's got an internal battery.
Internal battery, so it has no external battery. So if you leave it in the safe for a long time, make sure and run around the sun before you need to use it. Yeah. So it'll come back on. It just
depends, yeah. Like some people love them, some people don't. I like having batteries change out.
I like having both. I actually like when it's both. I do like how they sit countersunk really deep, so you can use these regular sights. I also have suppressor height sights on the way, so we have all the mags on the way. We will have every accessory for these, or a lot of them, to start off. 5.4 pounds on the trigger pull, and 0.24 is the trigger pull length, and 0.12 is the trigger reset. I dry fired it and I didn't love the reset, but Sam said I won't mind it as much when I'm actually firing it. I'm big on reset, not because I'm like that super cool guy that needs it to be like 1/10 of a thousandth of a millimeter. I just like it to be firm, and I like it to be audible. I like to be able to feel the reset. You see a lot of people in these videos, pay attention to this when you're watching the videos. It's very interesting to me. I don't know if you noticed this, but I get a lot of people, I see a lot of videos where they go bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, they smack the trigger.
Bang.
Yeah.
Like, and these are like videos that have 2.5 million views. I'm not saying that's wrong. Those people are probably better shooters than me. But I was taught to ride the reset, right? My finger does not come off that trigger, right? It stays on the trigger, pull, pull, press would technically be the correct
Yeah,
term,
there's
right?
like there's a couple of trains of thought for that. Like riding the reset just makes it to where you always know that you're ready for the next round. There's a thought process to it to where like if you're pressing out, right? So if I have empty mag and an empty gun, and I pull that trigger, while the slide is reciprocating, I should be walking my trigger finger out to where that reset's going to be so I can pull again, right? So I'm never waiting for my next shot because I have to walk my trigger out. Anytime the slide reciprocates, I should be able to allow it to walk the trigger forward, and I can pull the trigger again. So I cut down on like sub-seconds, right, for the trigger reset, which is not a bad thing. Like if you're a competition shooter, it's real important.
So you have your loaded chamber indicator right here. It's going to be on the side. It's nice and tiny, which is rad. You'll be able to see it when we're shooting it. This little thingy right here just go ahead and pops out. The other thing, all right, let's get into this. A cocked indicator. HK has one.
A cock indicator.
A cock indicator. Okay, is right here. See how it's red? See how you can see that? We're not going to point it at Sam. See all that right there? And then when you pull the trigger, it goes away. Okay? Everybody in the world has talked shit about Springfield for a million fucking years that they have a cocked indicator. Nobody talks shit on HK. This has been there for a really long time. It's been there for a really long time. Everybody knows I do not have a problem with it. I don't love the fact that this one is just visual. My preference for liking a cocked indicator is, like I said, I've used it in my real life in the middle of the night when I just wanted to make sure and I got knocked out of a slumber because I thought somebody was in my house, and I ran my finger on the back of that and I ran the finger on the top, and I know that I'm loaded and I know that the gun is cocked. I don't have to press check it. I can't see anything. I can go in the dark. It's not the time where I want to turn on a lantern, where I want to turn on my firearm mounted light or anything like that, because if there is somebody in the house, I'm just giving away my position and what's going on. So I really don't mind these little features. I understand why people don't like them. It's one more thing that can go wrong on the gun. I understand that. Somebody name me a time where their loaded chamber indicator or cocked indicator fucked up the cycling of their gun. I bet you can't. So
I just don't like weird stuff sticking out of my gun. I just don't like it.
Okay.
I'm like, ugh. I don't want it.
Sticking out like this. You're used to this.
Listen.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm right. I'm just saying
I don't want it.
that I'm most likely right.
I don't think you're right.
I don't think I'm wrong.
So let's go to that one. It's just preference, right?
Yeah.
It's just preference. Just like sights and tattoos and body type. It's preference, right? So it's whatever you want to shoot and whatever you feel comfortable with. These guns feel super comfy to me. I haven't shot one in years, so I'm pretty excited to shoot all of them. They all have the same sights, all have the same rear cut, all have the same trigger, all have the same adjustable back straps, the whole 9 yards, slide releases, everything like that. The trigger safety it does. So big selling point for me to touch on it, VP9's do not have a manual safety. I wish SIGs didn't. Well, out of this state, you can get them without a manual safety. In this state, you have to get a manual safety. I love the fact that it's a striker-fire gun without a manual safety. Yeah, that part is awesome.
Yeah, for like California, like it's keyword manual, right? You physically have to disengage this trigger safety for the trigger to pull. So that is the manual portion of the safety, right? That's your safety, right?
That's why they can't do like a palm swell safety. Or
yeah, exactly. Like so like it's still technically it's just not a thumb safety like a 1911 would have or the 320s would have.
Yeah, or even the Shield Pluses. Like those having a safety is weird to me.
Yeah, you know, I don't like them.
Yeah, but that's just our preference. So, do we get to shooting it now? I think I covered everything.
Let's talk a little bit about reliability for the weekend.
How was it?
It was good. It was good. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Don't touch me.
You know I'm not going to touch you.
We went through 4,000 rounds of 9mm over the weekend for just these alone. So call it 1,500 each, roughly 4,000 sparing.
1,333 apiece.
Sure, that one. We went through that over the weekend with no cleaning because I didn't have time to clean them on Saturday. So they just ran them fucking dry and right out of the box. I didn't lube them at all until today because I was like, God, these things are fucking disgusting. And I think probably almost 1,000 to 1,200 people probably fucking shot these things over the weekend. So I just want to make sure they're clean because I don't want to get JB sick. He's got a lot of stuff to do.
It's gross.
And they ran fantastic. The only malfunction I ever had was people just limp wristing stuff. The event itself was really nice. It was a very enjoyable event. It's cool because these guns I can put in anyone's hand because we kind of touched on it a little bit, or we may have. These are fully ambidextrous, right? So I have a slide release on either side, right? And I also have a magazine release on either side. It's nice because I don't have to go like, okay, well, since you're left-handed, try manipulating this way. No, just put in your fucking left hand and shoot with it. Just go ahead, try it. It was very cool. We were there with Covert, and they had a bunch of their 2011s over there too, and it was nice to have like, it was nice to be able to compare like an out-of-the-box, not cheap gun, but an out-of-the-box like well-priced handgun versus like kind of a luxury handgun that shoots, you know, with a lot of like machining.
It's in the middle. It's in the middle. I can't tell you what the price point. Oh, actually, it's already up pretty much everywhere. They're in the middle between a Glock and a SIG. They're not 500. They're not 1,000. They're almost right around in there. So the slide release is ambi too.
Yeah.
This is a completely ambi pistol.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. I'm gonna have to get Stacy out here to shoot that. That's who we should have brought out to shoot it. Just try it. I mean, or we have Kevin, but you're operating everything right now. Okay, fine, no Kevin, whatever.
So it's a nice gun for sure. And I honestly shot a shitload of rounds through it when we first got there because I just wanted to like make sure that one, they would run, and two, that I could tell people how to shoot them properly. Because if I don't get my hands on them, I can't be like, okay, well, you need to fix this, need to fix this. And they shot great, like straight out of the box. I mean, I didn't have any problem shooting them. So I was actually most impressed with the SK. I'm not a subcompact gun guy. I've made that very clear on this channel many, many times. And it's definitely not the best gun subcompact that I've ever shot, right? Because there's definitely guns that are more effective than this one, or in my hands. But I think bang for buck, that thing shoots really fucking nice. Like really nice, comparatively to a lot of other subcompact guns that I've shot. Really nice. Like I would take that over a Hellcat.
So what did you feel? Because we have said the same thing now because we've shot so many guns, right? And a polymer frame steel slided gun with a fulcrum trigger, any Glock, any striker fire gun, for us pretty much they shoot the same. Was this better or worse? Was it on the higher side of same or was it on the lower side of same? What's your personal
the ergonomics of them are different for sure. It's not like shooting a Springfield or a Glock. It's definitely different than shooting a SIG. The Walthers are probably the closest in comparison to them. In my opinion, I think the 2.0s are just around the bend on these, but I think these are on the higher end of the polymer steel slide pistols. I was really impressed with the service model. Like I fucking put some rounds through it for a little bit, and it was jamming. Like
better than a 2.0. I like the 2.0.
I don't know about better, but it's definitely, I would say they're neck and neck for a service model for sure.
That's saying a lot, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Glock guy and a SIG guy now. Like I would take a Glock over any other gun in my entire safe, pretty much. If you were asking me which gun you wanted to take to do whatever the fuck I had to do, I would definitely take my Glock up. There's another gun that I didn't even look at.
Are you open to changing that?
No.
They're
just so effective and so useful. And
they're so easy to clean, easy to take down, take apart.
Like I can fix anything on that Glock within 10 minutes and then be back up and running. So it's not. I took these apart last night to clean them. They're not difficult, but they're not. Well, granted, it's the first time cleaning these fucking things, so bear with me. But they're not like as simple as Glocks are, which is not a bad thing. You know, they shoot way different. They're a little interesting. I was trying to find the magazine disconnect mechanism in them. There's a couple interesting things inside these guns.
Well, there's a lot of roll pins.
They're pretty neat. I had a little bit of trouble with the VP9L getting it apart. For whatever reason, I had to try to find a couple videos on these. These ones came apart no problem. They kind of come apart similar to a SIG. You just take this bar and push this straight down, and the slide comes off. On the VP9L, it wasn't so much. You have to have a mag in. I don't know if this is this particular gun or if it was just a malfunction on my part, and if I'm just an idiot. But I couldn't figure out. Like the thought process is I should be able to put this fucking thing down. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm an idiot.
That's what makes our videos the best.
The best. Cool. Yeah, I'm an idiot. No, they're fucking super easy to take apart. These two came apart super fucking easy.
Never mind. Everything that you just spent time on, either we're gonna cut it or just fucking ignore it.
Last night I was sitting at my fucking my table trying to clean these fucking things, and I'm like, I was like also like 3 hours of sleep, and I'm like, okay, I need to get these done, and I just couldn't get the fucking thing off. I don't know why. It was
now you can get it off.
Yeah, it's perfect, just fine.
Yeah.
They came apart easy. The firing pin assembly from the research I was doing is very interesting. I don't know if you guys can kind of, actually, you know, I'll show you. Case in point.
Okay, now what?
Now a mag's got to go in and I got to fucking, yeah. I'll fuck with it later. I'll figure out what's wrong with it and we'll post it in something. You guys can kind of see here, these trigger mechanisms are kind of neat. So this is, if I understood it correctly from the videos I was watching, that's your firing pin safety, right? That just makes it to where your firing pin's not going to go down until this actually physically moves.
Yeah, moves.
You know, which is kind of neat. Yeah. It's just it's an interesting design. I had never seen the inside of an HK before. I mean, some people who have a shitload of them, I'm sure they're like, oh yeah, it's just an HK.
A lot more parts to take apart than a Glock, it looks like, or kinda. It's just
not
that
really.
Mechanism.
And it kind of comes apart
that's
similar
the plunger
to,
in a Glock.
Comes apart similar to a Glock. This little spacer right here, you actually push down on this, like the end cap comes off.
And that, oh, that's kind of like a
similar.
Glock. Their safety plunger is just different. This is a mechanism that goes side to side.
I don't think the. Yeah, I'm trying to think of it.
Extractor.
Yeah, that's pinned in.
Oh yeah, that's
some of these parts are pinned in, which is not a big deal. I mean, it just means they're not going anywhere.
I just hate messing with pins because, well, eventually you're gonna fuck them up,
yeah.
or bend it, or flare it, or something like that. But
anyway, I'll figure out what's going on with that one. I don't know what the hell.
Can we shoot it?
Yes, do it.
Okay. No, I mean, can we actually shoot it?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just saying. I didn't know if you fucked it up or not.
No, it's fine.
You sure? It's Monday, dude.
I'm relatively sure.
I gotta start bringing my prescription glasses because I'm old. Be able to see better.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Stop saying that.
Hell yeah.
It feels pretty good.
Yeah, right?
I mean, this is a thicker backstrap than what I'm used to personally. Well, I mean, I shot it well, so we'll just go with that. Maybe it's the gun and not me. For all you people that want to give me instruction on how to shoot, we're gonna have like a customer day one of these times, or a comment day, and you guys can come out here and shoot on film, and we'll see how you do.
Yeah. Yeah, try it. See if you can do it.
It's shot really nice. I don't know if I love the palm swell. I don't know if it's because this stupid thing is on here. It was it was more slippery for me because of my miniature hands, but damn, I was just covering the target there. And it's right up, like, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, it's not bad,
I need
right?
to shoot a little slower so I can feel the reset. Hold on one sec. Sorry, I took these out.
Another cool thing about chamber indicators too, I know everyone talks shit on them, but I never got to press check it. I always know when it's fucking loaded.
Fair enough.
See a little bit of red? Yeah, I'm loaded. I'm good.
You're loaded.
Like, I press check my shit just to be,
It's muscle memory though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I try to do it so fucking often, but it's just one of those things that I get used to. Yeah, shoots fine. I like it for a subcompact.
Me too.
It's definitely one of those guns you gotta,
Dude,
you can't.
that was probably the best first round I've ever shot in my entire life. That was the first round. That's probably the best first round. I mean, like, it's pretty fucking equidistant. Oh man, that's pretty close.
Pretty solid.
So that was the SK.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, with that finger kick on it, it shoots just like, it feels like a service model.
And I shot it without it, the flat base plate.
Yeah.
And just with the pinky wrap, it's fine. It's well within manageable.
All right, cool.
Kind of standard.
Standard. Can I take these fucking things off? I'm not gonna shoot with this stupid thing. Oh, I'll just look. Oh, see, there's red. I don't need to press it.
Look at that.
So all medium back straps, huh? Make sure I'm not bringing my head to my shoulders too.
Okay.
So it's weird. I don't feel like I'm jerking that. And it did run a little bit left, which is weird to me. Okay, so after shooting these, I fucking hate how big this front dot is, man. Like, I'm having trouble picking it up. Like, not picking it up, it's like...
Figuring out where to hold is the hardest part on these guns. If you guys don't understand what that means, it basically just means that like each set of sights kind of has its own area where you hold. Like if you guys shot Glocks and you ever did any classes, they'd always tell you put the ball in the bucket, right? Now the thought process is if you have like tritiums or like Trijicons do like equal height, equal light, line up your 3 dots. There's many ways to do them. Like the U-notch, it's the same thing. You kind of put the ball in the bucket-ish, but you still got to do equal height, equal light. It's just you gotta get used to the sights that you're shooting with.
Oddly enough, you shot it a little left too. A little.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd rather it just have a black on black sight or something very small. Like I'm lining up the top sights, like the dot for me, I get it. Like it's the faster acquisition. You're not looking for really too much accuracy. You're just looking to pick up that target and shoot that target. That part I get. I just don't know. I feel like I like the SK better. Just fucking odd. Feels more like a Fulcrum gun to me.
Yeah.
Like the 4-inch service, it feels like exactly like it should. I think I might like, these is as thin as it goes, right?
No.
Oh, okay. I might like a thinner, I might like something thinner on the side and maybe keep that back strap fat. It would really be fun to play with that configuration to see what works best for your hand.
Yeah.
That part I think is pretty cool. Are you shooting this again or no?
No.
You're going to the long slide? I do notice these a little bit when I rack it. I'm not mad at them.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're necessary, but
I wouldn't be so like inclined to take my sight off and take them off.
Correct.
You know, like I don't give a
like
shit.
I'm okay with them.
They're fine.
You want to know what I thought?
Yeah.
It's more enjoyable to shoot than the service model.
Yeah.
Oddly enough for me, I like the SK and the long slide the best.
It's interesting.
What are the fucking odds of that? It wasn't even my shooting. I mean, the shooting's fine. I like the weight difference of that 5-inch. It feels good. I'm surprised you didn't love it.
It's so hard, and it's, you know what, I was just talking to another YouTuber about this. And we were kind of chatting about it.
Did you just say another YouTuber? That's inferring that you are a YouTuber?
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah, it's sad. And we're just talking about it, and like, I understand a lot of you guys have shot guns before that are watching this, but you have to understand the amount of time that Justin and I spend around guns. The amount of time that the guys that work at rifle supply, the guys that work at gun shops spend around guns and interacting with guns and fucking with guns and shooting guns. I've shot so many fucking guns I couldn't even tell you how many models I've ever shot now. It's just out the window, and Justin's got 20 fucking years on me, so he's definitely shot way more guns than I have. So it's when you have to pull from the Rolodex of information, right, to compare them to things, it's frustrating because I can only compare them to so many things that are in the forefront of my brain. And if I've shot $9,000, $10,000 handguns, the $800 gun isn't going to feel great to me. No matter how much you love it, no matter how much Billy Bob,
you got to try and put it aside and just shoot that.
It's tough. I'm working on it, but it takes time. You know, you got to get a little bit used to like, okay, let me compare this not to the other guns that I own. I got a pair of guns that like I'm shooting currently.
But something very interesting for that we talked about off camera, right? If you shoot fulcrum guns and polymer guns and Glocks well, you're gonna shoot an Atlas well or a staccato well. If you shoot a staccato or an Atlas well, that does not necessarily translate into you shooting a polymer fulcrum gun well. I'd rather shoot these medium to high grade, very good, and then shoot those other ones just like a competition shooter, then the opposite.
Yeah.
So we're not huge fans of just owning or just shooting those guns, and there's a lot of people out there running around for their fucking content that looks super cool with those guns. Dude, my fucking 8-year-old nephew can shoot that gun well. So go out and shoot a gun like that, and then shoot that well.
Give yourself reference points, because like we have a lot of reference points. So I gotta pull from all the information, and be like, okay, what kind of compare to this?
And that's hard for you.
It's tough, real tough, especially that's early in the morning on a Monday.
Okay, you still shot that one the best.
Yeah. The only downside I saw with this one over the weekend.
Ears.
The only thing I could even notice remotely was that if you don't really grip onto this thing, and bear with me because I was working with a lot of like inexperienced shooters who were testing these guns out, which is not a bad thing, but
got to start somewhere.
Yeah, even with like from what I could see is a pretty good solid command grip. If you don't get behind this particular gun, these ones shot fine without really like pushing behind it. If you don't get behind it, you can induce a malfunction, and I don't know if that's because of the way the slide reciprocates. I don't know if that's the weight. I don't know if it's the grain that we were using. I don't know if it's the ammo or how dirty the guns were. It's the only thing I noticed.
I didn't feel it at all.
It was something I noticed over the weekend, right? So take that as you will. It's not the gun's a fucking bad gun. It shoots fucking fantastic, and like I said, straight out of the box, it shoots great.
Yeah.
These things are stupid reliable that I've seen so far.
Okay.
I haven't had any issues with them. No parts have broken, and they've had some interesting hands on them, so they've all worked well. Yeah, they all shot fine. I didn't have an issue with them, and then
worth the $850 and $900.
I would say so.
For me, it's like a fucking no-brainer. If you
I would say I would be pushing it on the L. If you're looking towards like 900, I would just buy a fucking
34
Legion. You know.
Okay, I could see that. Maybe we're gonna do a 34 Legion L comparison.
Yeah, like the competition or long slide variants.
I feel like a Legion is a little bit is a little bit more modified. It also has a tungsten grip. You put tungsten in any of these, they're all going to shoot completely different.
If I was to take two guns, I would take the VP9L over the X5. Reliability wise.
Really?
And just tenure of the gun.
Okay, that's so weird because I'm not even a SIG guy. Maybe we need to do this comparison because I think I would take the I would trust this gun more. It's been around longer. It has. And to be honest, the weight, how the weight difference in that L, it felt really good in my hand.
Yeah.
How the weight was dispersed. I love them. I don't know, has there been any videos on YouTube on Kali VP9's yet? We're the first one. Juan? Well, we're number 2.
I'll take it.
So that's all of them, SK, service model, and the L. We all really like them. Spending time to configure the grip, I think would be pretty fun for a lot of you gun people. And the people that are new shooters that don't want to do all that stuff, you can just hop right into this, shoot it with the medium grips, and you should be fine, and then you can go from there. So
you guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So you can actually enlarge your palm swell, lessen your palm swell, or your
palm swell. Yeah.
And then the sides of your grips, you can actually make them thicker or thinner. So you can kind of see the difference here.
Yep.
You can actually see these are a little bit thinner, a little bit thicker. So you can change these all out and make them considerably different. Like the gun would be entirely new, pretty much.
Yep.
And these come with the gun.
Yep.
Which is cool. It's not a thing that you don't gotta change out the whole frame like a SIG. You don't gotta stipple it like a Glock. You don't gotta throw it away like a Springfield.
You have modularity in that grip.
Exactly. At a certain point, it's just it's nice to have things that are, available. Yep. So
I don't though. So pros, we went over all the pros. The only cons that I didn't like that front sight being so big. That's me personally. I don't like the fact that it only fits one optic out of the box and you got to run a plate. Sam and I are both. One thing we agree on: if we don't have to use a plate, we're not going to use a plate because now I have a plate mounting to a slide and an optic mounting to a plate that's mounted to a slide. Right? Yeah. There's no failure points that way, but it is what it is. That would be my only.
If you guys haven't worked at a gun store before and haven't done any gunsmithing, the amount of times I get Glock MOSs that the plates on the MOSs have sheared off, either whether it be piss poor installation or user error or just the wrong
natural wear.
The wrong types of drills or the wrong types of platform, whatever it may be. Yeah. I have changed out more than I can count. So I don't trust them.
That's the only part that's kind of a bummer, but CNH makes a great plate.
I have to run one on my Legion, right?
Yep.
Like, because they do a Delta point, but it's not like it's interesting because they do it a little bit different than the MOS. It's not so, I don't know. I have to do it on this one, right? Like, I don't run Delta points,
right?
Which sucks, but it is what it is.
I mean, I have a Delta point, and I like it, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
We've already gone over our allotted time limit.
Yep.
Because you guys want shorter videos,
Yep.
more bang for your buck, and that's what we're trying to do. But that's it. SK Service L. We will have them in stock pretty soon. I will tell you, I have close to a triple-digit number on order. We have tons of the service coming in. We have a good amount of the SK and also a good amount of the Ls. They will be available on the website. Watch for Raul and our Instagram, and you'll be able to get on the wait list. I'm sure the listing will be up in the next couple weeks, so you can start adding yourself to the wait list. You guys know how that works. When they come in, we hit the wait list. Those people have first dibs on it. You can get in there and purchase, and then whatever's left, we sell in store too. So we want to give everybody equal opportunity when these new guns drop. That's why we don't do pre-sales where one person can buy out a ton of them and do that shit. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now that Sam's awake, we can carry on with our day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.